Hello my friends, and welcome to the second part of our trip through Scandinavia. As my day life takes over a lot, you'll get to see the most breathtaking autumn views only now, but I promise you it'll be worth it. We had exchanged our tent with a little cabin in southern Norway for a couple of days as our sleeping mattress broke and the forecast predicted lots and lots of rain. We again slowed down and took easy what approached us. In a parking lot, I collected lots of rose hips and made a warming and immune-supporting tea for us all. Rose hips are rich in vitamin C and it is a perfect start into the day. As we stayed in the cabin only for 4 days, we thought we wouldn't be in the need of a washing machine and chose for the view and its position on the route. Fate laughed at us and here I was, washing the laundry in the kitchen sink. But hey, that was not a big problem at all. We had enough time and dry hours to hang them up outside. I then was able to enjoy that incredible view we had chosen for, and everything was fine. Life happens and we cannot plan it. In these cabin days, we made some small trips through the region we stayed in. Driving through Norwegian landscapes is always an adventure, where mesmerizing waterfalls are awaiting us around every corner. And the rain let the autumn colors shine, so all orange and red tones got brighter and brighter, not to mention the misty mountains we were surrounded by. Look at these views. Back in the cabin, we rested. But the rain didn't stop us and we took a short walk through the village too. I was still fascinated by the different tones of red, orange and green we found on the leaves of fireweed. If you're from Norway or Sweden, this might be normal for you. But where I live, these leaves go from green to brown in autumn, and we completely miss this color burst stage. Even the dandelions are a part of this colorful celebration. Wow! I couldn't get enough of it. In this short amount of time we were able to witness this. In the middle of the day, our youngest took a nap, and I had some time for myself. I prepared a cacao for me and sat down. While you might think that I'd immediately take the book to read, I had some issues with that. It would take me away from this place. So I often took my phone first to sort the pictures from the camera, staying in that Norway mood to create and write postcards for our friends and family before I finally read some pages. But soon it was time to move on. We roughly planned the route and set our sails for Sweden, not willing to say goodbye to Norway again for the next couple of years, though. Norway has a big place in my heart from the first time I visited this country many years ago. I don't have a rational explanation, but this rough and wild nature got me from the first sight on. It might be the solitude, the weather, the colors, the mountains, or the forests, the history, the deep green moss, the light after the rain. I soak it all up, preserving it for my soul. Sure, it's a long way up north from our home to Sweden and Norway, but it's always worth it, and I'm happy that our kids love it too. Watching them to just be is a gift. These curious little humans, not in the need of rush, phones, and anything else but water, stones, crab shells, and seagulls flying by. Their little fingers feeling what nature offers willingly is what makes me happy as a mom.
Komm mal da. Auch ein Teil von einem Krebs.
Oh, eine ganz kleine?
Ja, die lebt.
And I was slowing down too, and I found some super tiny shells. Look how beautiful! Also, look at that haute couture of a campsite morning. I was indeed the only one running around like this, but this was only due to the off-season where nobody else was visible and staying warm has always priority in the morning. We found a lovely spot for our blueberry breakfast up on a little hill on the campsite. We took it slowly, which was a good idea as we knew we would be on the road half of the day. Walking with bare feet on rocks, wet moss and lichens, I found myself in an old forest. I lost myself in picking berries, forgetting that my husband was waiting for me as we wanted to pack our bags and leave south. But I was slow and it was early in the day, so I thought I'd pick what I wouldn't be able to pick in quite a while. The road could wait. Hello, deep forests of Sweden. We are delighted to be back, curious to find the tiniest wonders and the greenest greens. Walking through these old forests together, everybody paid attention to different things. Our youngest picked more blueberries, our oldest ran around the trees and followed all little path he could find. I paid attention to the smallest details as usual. Lichens on a tree bark, mushrooms on the ground, or a leaf that served as an anchor point of a spider web swirling through the wind. We spent the last days of our trip on a little campsite in Sweden where we had stayed in the past for several times. We had some wonderful summer days here without any plans and just wanted to live in nature. So the first thing I did was putting up the hammock. But this was not too easy. I don't do this regularly, but I was able to laugh at myself for some stupid wrong knots. But after some trial and error, as well as remembering all sailing knots I had learned from my dad, it finally worked out and I was able to enjoy the view of the trees from the ground. Lots of reading hours followed here in the next few days. I said I've been here before, and you might remember this place too. We took you with us on our last Scandinavia tour as well, and back then we ended our Sweden trip here too. This vacation nourished my soul, and I hope I will walk down this jetty in the future again, breathing in the fresh late summer air of the lake we called our short home for only a couple of days. We used to cook our meals over the fire, and we were allowed and asked to gather our firewood in the forest that surrounded the campsite. So we spent the afternoon in this beautiful forest, looking for some firewood and walking over rocks through moss and old leaves. Preparing a camping meal is much more focusing than preparing a meal at home. Not much space to work on maybe, but even less space to gather stuff, so it's all cleaned up quite quickly. While one of us prepared the food, the other one lit up the fire, and eventually everyone was sitting around the fire while dinner was made. I find this a very grounding feeling, getting back to the basics together. I love this new daily routine, worshipping it even more as I knew it wouldn't last forever. Back to the hammock. My hammock hasn't always been a hammock. It's also a baby wrap. Very handy when carrying a child every now and then, as I have it with me anyway. You have seen this one earlier. I bought it when my second son was born. So colorful. I tried some new techniques and felt quite professional to set it up within the first try. On our last afternoon here, we took a walk through the nearest forest and the village. We left the path and kind of crawled through the leaves and moss to watch out for interesting things. We found them very quickly and had great joy.
Guck mal, wie gut der hochklettern
When it started to rain, we hid under some big trees. Have you ever played hide and seek in the forest? It's kind of the same. When you're stuck in a spot in the forest, you begin to look around, finding some wondrous little things. Look at this cute tiny outdoor kitchen where we are able to wash our dishes. So lovely. I also loved the evenings when we all calmed down, sat down to eat, and when I put a pot on the fire for cacao afterwards. The soft light of the sunset was like a balm for our souls when it reflected on the small waves of the lake. Our last evening of this wonderful trip had begun, and we enjoyed every minute of it. On the next day, we said goodbye to the deeper forests of Sweden and drove south, passing beautiful little villages that let us soak in the last bits of Swedishness we could find. We stopped to see some moose, to wander through the early autumn forests we found here, where mushrooms in all colors had popped up through the soil. The light of a warm morning fell through the trees and let the heather blossoms light up, while the cranes flew south with us. This felt as slow as a returning home day can feel, which made it less hard to leave this wonderful country. We will come back for sure, no matter how much time will pass until then. I again lost my heart here, while my soul was nourished with light and freedom to roam through the wilderness of the north. Thank you for watching.